is this Adele? Hi, this is Jay Manuel from Next Top Model. And I'm like, oh my God. I was pretty much like a front runner. They flew me out, and they don't fly people out. They shortlisted me. I remember getting the call. They were like taking out my measurements, getting my sizes like for the show and everything. And they were like, okay, your schedule, like how would it work with your school? Like here's what the dates are. They were getting me to sign all kinds of stuff. And they're like, okay, so it's pretty much you. And I was like, oh, okay. Then I met the girl that they were pitting me against. They were literally trying to pick the black girl for the show between the two of us.
I feel like I have to work twice as hard as everybody else because of my skin color. And when I watch fashion shows, 1 in every 10 girls is black and the rest of them are not.
You mean like this show where I got canceled because I refused to act like a stereotype and paint myself as a victim? You have fair skin and applying for these shows, you'll also get typecast. You might be the sad one, the athletic one, the outgoing one, but if you have dark skin, they're casting only one girl and only one role. Feisty, mean, tough black girl. Now, do I think this harmful stereotype should be changed? No, I don't think people should bother exposing their minds to TV in the first place. And if you're different from the mainstream, don't put your success in the hands of mainstream people. I've self-published all of my own books, and I make money online, allowing me to live in paradise because I knew that being different is a gift sorely needed in this world. But one time, I decided to try going mainstream, and as you can see, it was a total dumpster fire. Here's the story.
I know what you're thinking. You're like, Adele, I thought YouTube was the only avenue you used to get attention and affirmation, to fill the void in your heart that your childhood has left. Oh, but no, you'd be wrong. I know some of you are also thinking like, Adele, I had no idea you were like absolutely passionate about modeling. It was a dream you had to walk the runways and rock the latest fashions. That would also be wrong. Girl, no, are you kidding me? I just wanted to get on that show so I could have an excuse to get out of college, okay? This was back in 2008. Guys, this was before social media. This was before Facebook. Phones did not take pictures. This was like a super long time ago. I was taking a forestry program back in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, where I'm from.
I got in shape for the show by running a chainsaw, hiking through the foothills, planting trees, and swinging an axe all day. I'm out to make forestry fashionable.
I thought forestry was going to be about camping, wilderness survival, trees, flowers, and hot outdoorsy men. Instead, I was in a class that year had record enrollment numbers for women, and where we spent a lot of time learning to interpret government documents and planning engineering plots on a drafting program on a computer. Does that sound like something you guys think I would like? Does it? Not only that, but the kids in the program that I was in was like the worst group that you could ever imagine. Even the instructors that year hated all of them. I was honestly just looking for some excuse I could use to get out of college. And if you placed on this show, I'm trying to remember what the amounts were. I think you got $5,000 if you just like made it on the show, final 5. I think you got like 7,000, 9,000. I was looking at this and I'm like, could I be Canada's Next Top Model? Like, no. Do I care about that? No. But do I like money and winning things? I mean,
your skin tone is stunning.
Then why'd you put her in blackface, you clowns?
Editorial shoot. As you can see, the hair and makeup is going to be very kind of modern and futuristic.
Oh my God, what the hell? Now, I do feel empathy for Mo in this experience. Like when you are the odd one out, when you're the only one with dark skin, it's like, you know, sometimes you just want to be a person. You don't want to have to like thinking about it all the time. And for them to have done this, it doesn't make sense to me because let's say, for example, you were on a shoot and it was like everyone was wearing green, so the whole shoot was about green, but there was one girl there who had red hair, and they wouldn't be like, oh, this shoot clashes with her red hair, so we're gonna give her blue instead. No, you put everyone in that color, And for them to have done this, I just think it's so tacky. I mean, to her credit, she still looks gorgeous, but I mean, this is messed up.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Come off your jumping trampoline.
I have more Amazonian measurements, you know, I'm tall. I had long hair. I had that kind of quirky, subdued, unpredictable personality. Like her and I were very different, except for one thing that we had in common. In the end, I was really glad that, you know, I didn't end up on the show. Especially because like I knew I could see how they treat these girls. To me, it just looked really cheap, really traumatizing. I wanted to come on here and give like a, you know, a big lecture about how these shows are so unhealthy and everything. But like, I don't even think people are watching these anymore. I feel like we're in a time right now where we have the opportunity to truly elevate as human beings. I know that's what's been happening for me. I have just been, my consciousness has been just expanded, my possibilities have expanded, my sense of love for myself and for the world and for the opportunities I've been given for my parents. Like all of this came out of the ethers to me when I started working on myself. But there are forces right now. There are forces out there in the media trying to tell people that their skin color is the only thing that matters and they can never escape it and it's a disability, or that because of their skin color, they're evil or they're bad, or their ancestors did bad things, so they're bad as well, right? We know this is just so caveman, archaic, trying to hold people down, and a lot of people are buying into it, right? A lot of people who maybe even have good intentions, majority of these people think they're doing the right thing, and really it's like a racism of low expectations.
Know that other people are going to look at you and they're going to see skin color first, and they're going to categorize you. Okay, do we want a black girl here?
Did you get that? So your skin color is a major disability. It's the only thing people will ever notice about you, and you can never escape it. You're pretty much doomed. Have a nice day.
These media and Hollywood outlets are totally out here trying to portray so-called black women in a certain way. And I remember even some of the weird questions they were asking me in the interview, like, if someone gets in your space, like, how do you handle it? So, stuff like that. And I was like, I think they kind of wanted something like really spunky and really kind of fighting from me, and they wanted, you know, to portray me as like the mean black girl causing problems, like feisty. And they weren't getting that from me, but I do think they could tell that I would be good TV because I was like weird, you know. I love how Tyra Banks is like getting called out about this now, about all the racist stuff she's pulled on her show before. And, you know, I share information that will elevate people about how we make money, about how we view ourselves, about how we heal, about how we grow, about your destiny and your journey here on this life. That's what my audiobook was about. I wrote an audiobook about all of my experiences with race because people are so curious. Everything that I talk about on this YouTube channel, like how I made six-figure business online, barely even trying, like how I survived, like all kinds of crazy things. I've had 3 near-death experiences. The main thing that people always want to ask me about is my race. So I made this audiobook. It is brilliant. It is engrossing. Like it's the stories will really draw you in, and it's fun, it's funny, and it'll give you some really interesting information. So that's the sponsor for today's video. I have got the link below. Go ahead and click it to listen to a free preview or get the full download for yourself. I also had this interesting experience meeting Tara. She placed in the top 3, this girl, and man, they were just brutal to this girl on the show, like about her hair. And you know, there wasn't a natural hair movement or body positivity or Me Too or social justice movement back then. It wasn't trendy to be those things. So these people were just like brutal, vile human beings.
Regular roundaway black girl.
Really?
Tara, I've coined her Miss Mop Top. That's ugly. Make it pretty. Uh-oh. Definitely you're not sexy.
My concern is, I think she might be a little manly.
We were both like fixing ourselves up in the mirror, and she was like putting on mascara and like a little bit of concealer, and I was like totally confused. I was like, I thought we had to go in with a natural face, and she's like, oh yeah, but like, you know, just I'm putting like a natural look. And I remember just like shaking my head and being so pissed at myself, because that was one lesson I learned. I used to take things literally, like everything literally. And now I know you can kind of push the envelope on things, give yourself an edge on the competition in life. Why not? I wish I had just put on a little bit of concealer, a little bit of mascara, but ultimately it didn't make a difference because I wasn't black enough for them. I look like a Victoria's Secret model in that bikini, if I do say so myself. That weight was not sustainable for me. Like, I was hungry and grumpy and tired all the time. I actually tried looking up a bunch of these girls to see like if I could talk to them, maybe get them on a Skype call and add it to the video, but like I couldn't find any of them online except for Tara, and she just has some like kind of bland Instagram. I thought that was super weird. Like, I wonder what happened to these girls. I remember when I was leaving to go on the plane, my mother was like, this was like a big time thing for her too, and I remember her basically telling me something like, well, here's the blanket that your grandmother made you, so like you go out in the world now, and like now you're kind of on your own. She was like basically like, oh, okay, you're on TV now, like just go, like bye. I think I got into pageants after that show. So yeah, I was out there, girl. I was trying to play off my youth and beauty in whatever possible way I could, like I always recommend women to do. Any benefit you have in this life, any privilege that you have, whether it's pretty privilege, IQ, height, family, whatever it is, max out your privilege. Experience the most beautiful life possible. Become your ancestors' greatest dream, and leave a legacy for the young people in your family to look up and be like, wow, we had someone in our family who wants XYZ. I was actually also really obsessed with Survivor. And I remember I was just waiting when you couldn't get on as a Canadian, but if I had had a shot, I 100% would have made it onto that show. So it just became the theme of my life story. Bye.
This is my fresh and natural face shot. I have been a huge fan of the show from day one when the American version came out, and I've been waiting for the Canadian version for forever. I hope you take a chance on me.